Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for returning to my live. I hope we can get everybody back that was in the other live. I apologize. I was using StreamYard and my camera never came on, even though it was showing that it was on. So hopefully we can start this live again. It's just a Frankly Friday. It's hot topics, a little bit of reality show news. We can mix it up a little bit and see what people are interested in talking about. But mainly I was following up on the Stephen Twitch boss story. Today is new edition. Everybody knows I'm an NE for lifer. So this is the culture tour. That's one of the shows we were able to attend. We actually went to a couple of them. And then this year we were able to go again in February. They're starting their residency again. Hello, Committed to the Journey. How are you? Thank you for coming. And again, well, thank you for coming back and finding the stream. I appreciate it. StreamYard was not working for me at all. It never turned the camera on, even though it showed that it was active as a live. I think it was just my voice. So that for some reason that was happening. And I'm speaking in the chat also. I'm going to pull it up as well over here just to see how I look. That helps me out when I'm reviewing my performance and trying to figure out what I should do. But mainly what I was interested in doing was following up. A lot of people have been covering the Stephen Twitch boss story. Welcome back, Sharon Gobble. I'm glad you found the active new live stream that I was able to do. So we had a really good live yesterday, just hot topics, all different topics. President Carter's funeral, the seating arrangements, all of that. That was really good. But what I'm doing now is I was following up. We saw Stephen Twitch boss, Ellen's DJ, his ex, not his widow. I don't want to call her his ex-wife. They were still married. His widow was putting out information about him that came out of his private journals. And a lot of people have had a problem with that, myself included. But that is his wife. So she's his next of kin, is how that usually works. But she's writing a book and she's selling a book. And we think, a lot of people think that possibly she's maybe using his image and his popularity in order to sell this book. Everything in this live is actually covered by the Copyright Act of 1976. Okay, thanks Patricia P for coming in and finally caught a live. Okay, and then we're covering Stephen Twitch boss story. So I'm going to read the statement from his mom. I heard she did an interview. I didn't get a chance to look at it yet, but I'll read her statement that she gave. The mother of Stephen Twitch boss, Connie Boss Alexander, speaking out about untruths that she says are circulating about her late son. And I'll just read it in her words. Mrs. Boss Alexander, our family is absolutely appalled by the misleading and hurtful claims made about my son, Stephen Boss. The recent publications spreading untruths about Stephen have crossed every line of decency. As his mother, I will not let these accusations go unanswered. We will not stand by while his name and legacy are tarnished. He doesn't deserve this, and the kids don't deserve this. For the last 2 years, I've remained quiet and away from the public eye to protect my family. My primary focus has been on healing and attempting to remain connected to my grandchildren. But when I read these dreadful claims about my baby, our beloved Stephen, I realize I could not stay silent any longer. Our family will ensure his name and memory are protected, and we are committed to defending his honor. Signed, Connie Boss Alexander. And she says, pound, stand for Stephen, pound, Boss Family United. And then she has pound, SLB, pound, LLSLB. So I guess she's using all of his hashtags to make sure all of his friends and connections in the industry see that. How does everybody feel about that? Are you familiar with the story? Yeah, it's been big news lately. I have to text something. I'm sorry, everybody. Thank you for being here. Okay, so Mrs. Boss hasn't said anything. His mom, she's been quiet for 2 years. And I didn't realize that Stephen took his life 2 years ago. So that was December of 2022, and he was only 40 years old. They found him in a hotel. He was Ellen DeGeneres' DJ, and we would always see him on TikTok. He would be with his wife. They would be dancing. They will always appear to be happy and hanging out. Oh, they're trying. Patricia P says, let me read a couple of comments. Committed to the journey says, I'm familiar and I don't blame the mother. Committed to the journey, I don't blame the mother either, because this is going too far. because the journals, those are his private journals. That's his wife. She's his next of kin. But I don't like the fact that this lady, that she's now putting information out that the public didn't have prior to his death. And actually, there were no drugs found in his system at the time. And they're saying that he was also a victim of, he experienced depression. So we do know that. Patricia P is saying they're trying to say he was on drugs. She's asking. Committed to the Journey, that's what I heard as well. What Committed to the Journey is saying, let's see if I can pin this message. Because sometimes YouTube doesn't show me the pinned messages. I'm trying to pull it up on the TV as well. But Committed to the Journey says the toxicology report said no drugs. That's the most important thing. I don't know what she's claiming she found in the closet afterward. I'm hearing a lot of rumors, but I haven't read up enough on it yet. But the toxicology report is public, and they say there's no drugs in his system. Welcome, American Born. Good afternoon. How are you doing? We're having a quiet snow day here in Charlotte with no snow. American Born, have you walked your dogs today? Are you in cold weather? I never asked where you're at. You don't have to say where you're at, but are you getting any snowy weather? Are you able to get out? Sharon Galbot said, in my opinion, the wife was involved in this some way. Sharon Galbot, now there's speculation about it because she was boss at the time when he was alive and had all those industry connections. And then 2 days after he passed away, she changed her last name to Hochler again, even though they had children together. So the children, I guess, are boss unless she's going to change their name. And Patricia P says, I think the wife is trying to say he relapsed. But the toxicology report shows that there were no drugs. And he took his own life with her firearm. He didn't own a firearm. He took his life with her firearm. American Born says she ran errands early and you have some more snow coming. You had 8 inches of snow and ice last Sunday. Oh, Kentucky. Yeah, Kentucky knows how to do it. When they say it's snow, Kentucky get that snow. I'm in North Carolina and we were I'm looking forward to it, but we don't have any yet. They even had where they changed the kids to work from home. Linda Gamble is speaking. Patricia P. American Born says, we have a large fenced yard for my dogs. That's perfect. So they don't have to go out and away from your house. And it's safer too. And a lot of dogs like snow unless it's one of those dogs that don't like the cold. So this story is getting a lot of news. A lot of people are upset about it. But some people also, they're coming down on the widow's side saying that she's the next of kin. That's his preference. That's the person that he chose, keeping his own legacy in mind. But some of the things that are coming out about, one of the things I heard was that the family had to sign non-disclosure agreements at the funeral. So what do you guys think? What do you ladies think about that, if that's true? I believe it is true. I haven't heard anyone say that it's untrue. They had to actually sign non-disclosure agreements at the funeral. American Born is greeting everyone that's in the chat. So the non-disclosure agreement, usually the people that sign that, they're not allowed to discuss occurrences. So that's not something you would do for a family because, of course, you're going to talk about the funeral, what happened after the fact, that sort of thing. Committed to the Journey said, I wish my daughter-in-law would. Maybe that funeral would have been turned out. I have to agree with that, Committed to the Journey. A lot of people feel that way. Because it seems like Allison, in my opinion, and everything in this video is my opinion, is for entertainment and education purposes, covered by the Copyright Act of 1976. It looks like Allison is just looking at this from the entertainment standpoint, rather than Stephen, before he married her. He also had a mother, he also had family and people that were close to him. And now she wants to be the only one in charge of his legacy and to benefit from his legacy. American Born says that lady's trying to cover up what actually happened, in my opinion. American Born, none of that crossed my mind at the time he passed away, but her actions after the fact is starting to look a little, somebody may want to take another look at it, allegedly, and in my opinion, by the way she's moving now. And now she's kind of rolled back a lot of the things that she was doing at first. I've known of her as a dancer. They met on that show, So You Think You Can Dance. But he was the one that became really famous. He had that engaging personality, an infectious smile and dance. And then he was on Ellen's show. They would always dance together. And he was a highly paid DJ as well. But his wife, maybe she's feeling like that she's not. Oh, the likes are matching the chat. Thank you, Linda Gamble. 9 likes and 9 in the chat. Patricia P says, very suspect to me. Same to me. It seems like now she's trying to move on quickly, but she wants to still have that shine that he had, even though she never took off the way that he did. And I've heard that she's also engaged to be remarried. I'm not judging at all what time frame would take, especially with her having young children. This happened 2 years ago. That's fine, but I don't think she thought that she would be getting the backlash that she's getting with the way she's moving now. American Born says, yeah, it's off, isn't it, Sharon Gobble? Yeah, we're all around the same mindset as far as that goes. Committed to the journey. He unalived himself in a hotel by himself with her weapon, allegedly. So was someone else there. Sharon, committed to the journey. The way this whole thing is starting to sound, I wouldn't be surprised if they actually took another look at the case, because I'm sure his mother, the reason why she probably was quiet is because, as she stated in her own statement, she's trying to keep this relationship up with her grandchildren. Another cousin of his has said that Allison is no longer letting the Boss family see the children. So that could be something that she's holding over the head. Sassy T from the 803, my sister, thank you so much for stopping in the live. I've always thought she was jealous of him and really hated him. Sassy T, I believe that too, because when they would be on TikTok, stephenboss was one of those people that has that engaging personality, and she seemed to be on his coattails, even though she could do the dance the same way, because they would be unison in the dances. There's something about her that didn't have the shine that he had. So there could have been a sense of jealousy there. And then now with him, knowing that he had depression and knowing that there was no drugs found per the toxicology report, and now all of a sudden she's out here trying to sell a book, trying to use his private journals to sell a book, that's not looking good for her at all. And for his mother, who has said nothing, she's grieving for her son. I didn't know he was the youngest. He's her youngest son. So she's grieving, but now she's forced to be public. And Mrs. Connie is Boss Alexander is not a public figure. We haven't seen her, but she's speaking out for her son now. Everybody's speaking to Sassy T. We have Sharon Galbart, Sassy T. She's waving and sending you love with a heart. Committed to the journey. Hi, Sassy T. And then Patricia P said, yes, she was a hater. I have to agree. Sassy T said, yes, she wanted the attention, but she was, let me see, she was on the rugs. And I didn't know that about them. And I'll say them only because she made allegations toward him, but Committed to the Journey has pointed out the toxicology report showed that there was no evidence found of that in his system. So now she's mentioning all this stuff that she supposedly found in the closet that she didn't know about. Some of his friends and some of the family are coming out saying that she has this problem. She's putting the problem now on him, who's no longer here to defend himself. Dot Willie, good afternoon. How are you? I'm so glad you came in. I'm glad you caught a live. Good afternoon, Regina and everyone. Did I miss Regina? Is Regina Phillips is in here? If she is, good afternoon. So this story, I think she thought 2 years was enough time. Some people think differently than others. And this lady seems like she's moving really suspiciously. I don't like what's going on with that. It's not good at all. She doesn't look like she's gonna be able to get the love and attention and fame that he had. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen with her now. No evidence. Sassy says no evidence. Right. I heard it was her. He's wanted her to stop. I think he wanted to leave her. Sassy T from the 803. I heard that he told one of the friends they were having conversation about splitting up. Both of them grew up without a father in the home, and she was able to keep him with that they still want to keep the family together. And he was still with her at the time. He's actually still employed with Ellen at the time. They said he was one of the highest paid DJs in the country, probably the world, making over $1 million a year just on the Ellen show. And then in their down season, he'd be able to make a lot of money internationally. Green Bass, thank you. Thank you for catching a live. Says, hey, Sandra P and chat. Thank you for catching a live, Green Bass. Good to see you. So this is a story that's going to keep on giving. We're going to see what happens with that. And I'm going to see, I'm going to check some other hot topics, see what else we can talk about. Oh, okay. This is somebody that we're all familiar with. And I'll read this only because this person that is speaking is familiar to us. I'm going to let you hear his voice.
You guys are the only beings on this earth that are capable of loving everybody. And y'all have a tendency to love people even when they don't love you back in return. But if we are going to take the institution of marriage as serious as we say we do, then this is the woman, regardless of her skin color or how we feel about it. This is the woman who this man entrusted his life with. This is the woman
stop a minute.
He chose.
Okay, we know who that is. You can put in the chat who that is.
Legacy.
I'm not going to name him.
The potential ramifications of his legacy as it related to this person, then who are we to give a damn? And it's funny because as I was going through the comments on social media, there were, a lot of women, Black women, upset, and they were the ones really chiming in. And I'm just like, y'all, he chose her. This who he loved. This who he picked. This who he trusted his whole life with. We don't know the ins and outs of their relationship. And maybe they had the type of relationship where this is the type of thing he would have wanted her to tell. I don't know.
That's somebody that we all know. He's gonna weigh in when it comes to Black women. And that's his biggest supporter over there in his audience. He's telling Black women, the title says, tell Black women to stand down amid backlash against Twitch's wife. Let Twitch white wife worry about his Black A legacy. So disrespectful. So disrespectful. I started out with what the mother said, because the mother is a private figure. She doesn't have a platform. She did get a platform because the widow has started speaking. And now Black women are supposed to stand down and not say anything. And this man has her children. She may be colorless. The children are not. So now the children, allegedly, and in my opinion, they're saying that children are not even allowed to see the boss side of the family. I'm going to read some comments. We knew what somebody like this would say about that. Doesn't surprise me at all. Linda Gamble, I pinned your comment. FD needs to be quiet. We know he won't when it's involving Black women. We know he won't be quiet. He's going to tell us what we should feel, see, think, be, everything. Committed to the journey. Is this FD? Yes. You recognize his voice. That's him. You heard about Sonny Hostin's husband being under investigation in New York. I'm going to pin this so we can talk about that in a minute. I did something about medical fraud. I know Manny is a doctor, Manny Hostin. He's lucrative. He's made a lot of money in that field as well. I'm going to go back to the stephenboss story, and then we're going to talk about Sonny. That crow. Sharon Garbo said that crow needs to go sit back on his branch. Sharon Garbo, if it's involving Black women, he can't sit on his branch because that's his number one supporter, but he's always got something to say, usually negative. You see what they did with Claudia Jordan over there. Claudia Jordan, Al Reynolds, and Funky had a show that Claudia put together. Even though I'd heard that was someone else's idea, Claudia is smart, and Claudia was able to get the show online. They were all allegedly rumored to make around $250,000 a year. And by the time Al Reynolds and Funky got through maneuvering and doing different things, that show is no longer on YouTube. And that was a very popular show. They were getting 1 million viewers, making a lot of money over there. And they managed to maneuver and take that from Claudia Jordan. But I have to blame Claudia. You don't outnumber and surround yourself on your own thing. You put that together, then you're going to bring these two people in there, these two men that stick together. And they would always tag team Claudia. She wanted to be the only one, but she ended up being shut out of her own stuff. So this is the person that's talking, saying, don't speak about Twitch, even though his mother is the one who came out. She has every right to speak on her son. American Born says, I don't understand women who follow FD. American Born, I don't either. I used to watch it and think it was kind of funny, but one too many jokes that went too low. I haven't watched him steadily in years, and I've been unsubscribed. I can't watch when they talk about people like that. The way he attacked the little Bailey sisters, I know they're in their 20s, but we all watched them grow up. When she was pregnant, mad at Haley because she wasn't disclosing her pregnancy, even though she's employed by Disney. She's Ariel. She had this huge movie coming out. She didn't have to come out and discuss her medical business with this person just because he wants to know. It's none of his business. Why are you asking somebody something you feel like you already know the truth? So I was really, really done with him then. So Reem Bass is speaking to everyone. American Born is laughing at Sharon Godbolt. Did I miss a comment from Sharon Godbolt? I will go back and get it if I need to. I think someone told him to sit back on his branch. And then Reem Bass is speaking again to everyone. He's always loud and wrong. Reem Bass, he is loud and wrong. Exactly. You always have a ram in the bush. That's sassy T. You do. Hallie was private, and I'm glad with his ashy lips. I don't even know if it's ashy at this point. Just unkempt. And the way he was brought on by another Black woman and then proceeded to take her space and leave her place a wreck, leave her house with all kind of dog poo all over the house, steal the lady's washer and dryer. I can't listen to that person and take him seriously. I hope Mrs. Boss continues to speak for her son as she wants to, no matter whether or not this is his widow or not. His widow got to speak, and now his mother is speaking. And I don't think anybody gets to tell her to be quiet. I'm going to follow the story and see what else she's going to say. Okay, I'm going to switch to something, see if we have any fun news or good topics, fun topics. That's a heavy topic. This man was 40 years old and took his own life. I didn't hear Funky saying anything about mental health among Black men. He could talk about something about Black men. Focus on the Black man side of it. And stop telling Black women what to do, because you're not one. You can't tell us what to do, how to live, be, none of that. So speak about the mental health aspect of it, something else. Don't tell us what to do. Okay, we have Hoda Kotb. I don't watch the Today Show, but I hadn't realized she'd been there 17 years. She's just screaming and hollering, crying. That's her choice, though. I think she just had she didn't have a baby, but she has a baby. Someone had a daughter for her. She did one of those things that the celebrities do, because she waited till she was in her 50s. And they say she tearfully goodbye.
Say thank you. I haven't been able to articulate it because I'm a mess most of the times, but I just want to say thanks. Was not fair.
Goodbye to Hoda Kotb. So I wonder who they're going to replace her with. She's working with Jenna Bush for years. Jenna Bush, sometimes she makes me laugh. She's a funny girl. One of the George Bush daughters, one of the twins. And the other one is a teacher. We saw the Bushes still holding up at Jimmy Carter's funeral. Okay, let me see what other topics we have on here. Oh, I have a Gen X crush of a lot of young ladies. We know this young man, Khalil Kane, 60 years old. That's him in Juice. That's his signature role at 26. Also Love Jones. I'll put that as a signature role. 26 years old. This man is 60 years old, y'all. He's looking good, right? Khalil Kane. Everybody remember Khalil Kane from Juice? My comments aren't moving, but if they pop back up, I'll read them. Committed to the journey. Oh, okay. That's old. Now they're all popping in. And I still remember about Sonny. We're going to go back. American Born says Funky needs 7th Avenue. He does. But I don't think he can stand Melody, so he'll probably try to get some other product to use. Reem Bass is telling me Hoda is leaving. She adopted 2 daughters. Okay, thank you. I knew she had brought some children into her life. She's one of those career women that put that first, and then she didn't have any children until later in life. So now she has her money. She has that career in the background. She's going to be living her best life with her 2 little girls. Committed to the journey. Oh, I didn't know she was leaving. Yes, we're going to see what's going to happen, who they're going to put with Jenna. Jenna Bush Hager is her name. Committed to the journey. Yes, honey, fine. Yes, he still looks well. He still looks well. I didn't realize he was 60. Reem Bass, I didn't either. But New Edition, my boy's New Edition, Ronnie, he's 60. So Gen X, I'm 54. We're all within that same group. Gen X, we're getting up there. We in the 50s, but that he's 60. I don't know. Siri, how old is Morris Chestnut? That's another farmer. Siri said he's 55. And they give his signature role as Boys in the Hood. So yeah, all the Gen X crushes are getting old. Sassy T said we getting old. Linda Gamble's she's the baby of the bunch. She's 52. You right there with Bobby and them. So we're right there in the middle. Yeah, that's something else. American born, you're 58. Okay, yeah, the time goes nowhere. Gen X is just, I don't know. The time is, my father used to say, time waits for no one. And I'm going to show another one of my faves. I don't know who dislikes Nene. There's a lot of people that do. I'm not one of them. That's Nene Leakes. She got that filter on with that. But the funny thing is, I follow Nene on her YouTube. She doesn't update the YouTube a lot, but sometimes she'll be in her bed with no makeup. That nose, you can do that contour with makeup. She did have one nose job, I think, but she doesn't have like one of these little tiny thin noses like that. She still has her natural face, just the way they contour her, it makes it look a little weird. Morris Chestnut is my favorite chocolate drop. Linda Gamble, he is. And you see when Jay Boland dresses him, he is beautiful. When he had on a red suit, it was all red for the last big awards. I think that was Golden Globe. And he was wearing Jay Boland and he looked good. He looked very good. Sassy T loves Nene. Yes, I wish we could get her back on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Hey, Cece, thank you for catching the live. She's speaking to Auntie Linda Gamble. And she's speaking of Real Housewives of Atlanta, allegedly. They said Nene's coming back. Let's hope that she can come back because Bravo still likes her. I know she and Andy fell out. I don't know whether or not they're following each other, but I know Bravo TV is following Nene. And they realize what Nene brought. Nene brought a lot to that channel, that whole network. Bravo TV, Andy actually, before he got upset with her, he called it the house that Nene Leakes built. And that's true. T says, yes. Sharon Galbo says, Nene was and still is that girl. She is. She is. A lot of people take Nene's ideas and have made a lot of money with it. Carlos over there in that closet, Reality with the King. Nene was the one telling him, Carlos, you're good at interviews. She was his first big interview. She encouraged him. She said he's good at interviews. And then she knew at the time he was the one that told that cast to go at Nene. He told Peter, if you want screen time, go against Nene. And Nene, she's a loudmouth and all that, but she's very sensitive. A lot of that hurt her feelings when they were doing that. But these reality show people, they just see it as TV. But some personalities, that's upsetting. And they managed to get her off that show. But if she's coming back, I'd love to see her back, Linda Gamble. That will really revive that show. We're back speaking to CC. Mahogany Mix. Hey, little sis, Mahogany Mix. How are you doing? She's saying hello to everyone. We're just talking about, we followed up with the Stephen Twitch boss case and his mother who finally gave a statement because the wife is just out there saying everything that she wants to say. And the mother is a little upset about his privacy being violated. And she wants to still keep the relationship with her grandchildren. And then we talk about Hoda Kotb, who is out at the Today Show by her own choice. She's been there 17 years. So she's going home with her 2 little daughters. Linda Gamble speaking to Mahogany Meeks. American Born is also speaking to Mahogany Meeks. Let me see if they put Sonny's husband in here while I do that. Wendell Pierce, you know that I was reading about him. The Los Angeles fires. He's from New Orleans, and he lost his family home in Katrina, and now his home is at risk out in LA. So that's terrible. He's saying he's an actor and an activist, Wendell Pierce, compared those fires to the Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans, 2005. So that is terrible. I'm just doing a lot of little hot topics, news. And let me see what else I pulled from here. Sonny Hostin's husband, Manny. I'm going to pull that. And I was on StreamYard earlier, but I never could get the camera to go. I wanted to have the presentation screen. That never came up either. So I had to end that live. And thankfully, everybody and more came back from that live. Okay, this is Real Housewives of Atlanta related.
Just got my peach, 2 years ago? Mm-hmm. So I finally got my peach, and the world was happy about me getting the peach. So to true fans, Real Housewives of Atlanta. That was a big deal. And to be honest with you, I wasn't happy about it. You weren't? I was not. Why? Because I love being a friend. I felt the show was in a bad place. And don't think I can come and just save the show. I came on with the originals. It was a different type of show. It was a different day and age. And I feel the show just got dark all of a sudden. Like a lot of us didn't have respect for each other.
Marlo, she's rewriting the script. Everybody was happy when Marlo got her peach? They didn't ask me because I wasn't happy when Marlo got her peach. I love Marlo's fashions, and that's it. She's got a nasty mouth. She can't read. She goes to the gutter. Kenya can read, whether you love or hate Kenya. But when Marlo reads, she says stuff like, that's why your mother didn't want you. She's on the Dr. Heavenly level with the reads. And she said the show got dark. She took the show dark. And I don't believe her for a second that she didn't want a peach. She would die to get that peach. And she didn't revive the show like they thought it would. But people will say whatever they want. Pat Ford says, no, Marlo should have been gone. And Marlo should have been gone. I never liked her on that show. Nene brought her. Nene, she would come around as a friend to Nene. And then one season when she was trying to get more camera time, she's another one that turned on Nene. Marine Bass says, I did like when Marlo got a peach. I didn't like when Marlo's got a peach either. She's a mean girl and does nasty work. She does a lot of nasty work. I don't like the way she acts. I'm curious to see what they're going to do with season 16. Nene called that season Sweet 16. She named it when she was doing the interview with Carlos. So hopefully we can get an appearance from her and even get her back on the show. We'll see what's going to happen with that. But Marlo, that's a lie. She's a lie and the truth is not in her. People were not happy to see her actually get the peach. And let me see. Oh, I'm right at 30 minutes. This is good. Committed to the journey. What I'm going to do is look up more information on the Manny Hostin story. I know it has something to do with, he is a doctor, something to do with him submitting fake or allegedly. And in my opinion, what the news is that they're accusing him of some type of medical fraud. So I'll look at that and see when we can get back to that. But I'm going to show another OG who's one of my favorite people. Let me see what Pat Ford says. She just used to be messy for no reason. Yes, and if it's fun mess, that's fun. But when you're going to bring up Kenya Moore, she's broken over her mother. She is. And sometimes I didn't like Kenya early on because she would pick with Portia. Portia's a sweetie, but she is dumb. You can't go back and forth with a Kenya. But the light shade, the funny shade, by Ashley still makes me laugh because Portia, Kenya was making fun of her and just quick. And Portia didn't know what to say. Bye, Ashley. People say bye, Ashley now. And it's still funny. But somebody like Marlo, the way she's terrible. And then the one season, she tried to push that heavy door closed. Kenya had invited them to an event. And then she tried to push a door onto Moneta. And then lied that quick. And production was being shady. They showed the whole thing. And she was like, no, the door swung back by itself. No, we could see Marlo actually trying to push a door closed on Moneta, who was coming through the door. Thank you, Linda. Linda Gamble saying there's 16 likes and 13 in the chat. Thank you. So some people have come in and come out. American Born says we have freaking Frack back. I hope it's going to be good. I hope it's going to be a good season too. As you all know, we have a special surprise. We have 2 OGs, which is Sassy 3 from the 803. Sassy T from the 803. I keep misspeaking. I'm sorry. Sassy T from the 803. Tea Talk with your girl. Drop the tea. And then myself, who is a baby content creator, even though I'm older than Drop the Tea, we're all going to review Real Housewives of Atlanta together when it comes back, I think early February. So when we all see each other next weekend, we're going to start making plans and talking about that too. But I'm going to show you ladies one more OG, somebody that I talk about almost every live because I love the lady. I love her style. I love what she built. And Peace, Love, and Light came in. Thank you so much for stopping in. Happy Friday, everyone. I finally caught a live. We're happy you caught a live too. We've been catching up on just little topics, celebrity type stuff, and little fun stuff. Nothing too serious because this has been kind of a heavy week. So we're going to end it out with some fun. Okay, here's one of my favorite OGs. I'm going to show you a clip. I'm not showing clips yet, but I'll show it to you from my phone. Okay, it's going to have to start replaying.
You don't set up those for mother contamination. It's nasty. nasty as hell.
Let it play through again. I'm gonna let it play through.
Your house nasty. Pressure wash this mother. You don't set us all up for mother contamination. It's nasty as hell. Your house nasty.
That's the creator of Married to Medicine, who's getting a check to this day, and we want her back. Mariah Huck. That's fun shade. She said that to Dr. Heavenly. Dr. Heavenly was being messy, and that is the read that Mariah gave her. That's the speed of reads that we like. Because Dr. Heavenly, her house is spick and span to this day. She told her pressure wash this MF. And they had to usher her out of there. And Dr. Simone was cackling so loud she could barely catch her breath. That's what we want to see. That's funny. That's fun. It's true. She made Dr. Heavenly improve. The house is sparkling. So we want to bring that back. Everybody, we're getting a good laugh at that. Yes, and Dr. Mariah Huck making a check to this day and still has a fan base that will watch her. So if they do what they think they're trying to do with Melody over there at Love and Marriage Huntsville, she's going to, I'm claiming that she'll always have a check, whether that show is there or not. We're proud of her. But that was Mariah. That's Fun Shade. And thank you guys for joining this quick Friday live. I'm glad that everybody caught it. And I hope everybody enjoys the weekend. I'm going to try to pop in again at another point. But thank you all. I appreciate it so much. Have a great Friday.